Visiting with the head coach of the Douglas Lady Bearcats, who have a new state record of 48 consecutive wins, and visiting with their head coach, Cody Helenbolt. Cody, thank you for taking some time to visit with me. And I guess you've been a part of this big streak. For you and the program, what does a new state record of 48 consecutive wins mean to you?
It just kind of confirms the fact that we've worked hard all these years. And then, we've been lucky too, because we've had some really awesome kids go through here, and they've put in a lot of time and effort into our program. And it's kind of cool because it's kind of, for me, a celebration of all those kids we have, even the ones that came and went through our program before the winning streak, because they're, one group kind of leads to the next one, I think. And so it's just kind of cool for our program and our town and everybody.
You mentioned that the number of kids that came through, you guys had a nice little win streak going, and then you ended up losing at Thunder Basin. You put together another win streak, lose to the Linwood, California team that's ranked in the top 40, and then you don't lose again until Saturday, and I want to get to that. But not a lot of losses in there. What feeds the continued success, do you think, of the program?
After we started having some success, Allison Fertig and Jocelyn Igo and Cam Townsend's freshman year, we went undefeated. We had one really close call against Buffalo. We won on a buzzer beater. And after they went undefeated that first year, they were kind of like, hey, we're not going to lose. We're just going to keep rolling. So that was kind of the goal for them. And, that's easy for me to get on board with also. So, we just had really competitive kids, and we still do. And, it's just winning is important to them, and that's pretty cool.
What would you say about the work ethic and just the competitive drive your kids have that kept that streak going? And even though it got interrupted a couple of times, I mean, you're talking about 3 losses here over about a 4-year span.
Yeah. They're just pretty incredible kids. They get everybody's best shot too. And that's the other part of it, is it's almost like anytime someone would score on us, their fans were going crazy, just wanting to see us have some sort of, something bad happen for us. So not only, were they just driven kids, but they went through, that sort of adversity. We had 2 of our really, really good kids get hurt right before state. And so that was another thing that they kind of dealt with. And, they're just tough and wanted to keep rolling and keep winning. And pretty cool, all the things they were able to accomplish.
Well, let's talk about Friday's win against Laramie. Set the record. You had tied it before the holiday break. You were going to play Sheridan. Then the schedule changed not once, not twice, but 3 times, including Friday morning. But in the end, you knew at least a couple days in advance you were going to play Laramie on Friday. What's going through your mind as your team starts to pull away in that fourth quarter?
I tried not to think about it too much throughout the whole time. But as the seconds were ticking down, I was like, wow, we really did this. This is, it was something that wasn't even really on my radar coming into this season, honestly. We have kind of a whole new group that we're putting together this year. And so, the goal was just try to get these guys to mesh and play well together. And then when that win streak snuck up on us, I didn't even really think about it too much. But once that final buzzer sounded, it was definitely a pretty cool feeling.
What did the girls talk about afterwards once they said it, knowing you still had another game to play that day?
Yeah, I think they thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. We have 4 freshmen on varsity that are 14 years old. So I don't know that they quite, grasp the idea that this record has been sitting there since 1980 or 78, whatever it is. So they were excited about it. But I think the coaches and I were like, wow, we actually did this. This is cool. And they thought it was cool, but, I think they'll think it's a lot cooler when they get older.
Yeah, I was going to say probably kids like Allison Olsen, and some of the girls that are not with you anymore, like Camden and Allison Ferdig and Jocelyn, they probably think it probably means more to them right now, actually.
Yeah, the ones that have been around for a while and seen all the all the stuff that we've kind of been through probably appreciate it. But it's really cool for the group that I currently have, because going into this year, I don't think a lot of people really gave us the chance to come out and roll off 7 wins in a row and get the record.
Right.
And especially having to do it against 4A competition is tough. So it's kudos to them for coming out and believing in themselves and getting it done. And it's pretty cool for that group to get to experience something like that.
Talk about that. You have not backed down from challenges. Now, granted, you can only play the schedule that you've got, but you've wanted to get challenged a little bit more. You started going to that Energy Classic in Gillette, where you lost to Thunder Basin once that one year. You lost in Linwood a couple of years ago. But you haven't backed down from challenges. You beat a whole host of 4A teams last year and then again this year until Saturday, and we'll get to that in a moment. But you haven't backed down from any challenges.
Yeah, as I kind of got established as a coach, when I was younger, I was always worried about, we gotta build our confidence and win games. And then as I started, getting players buying in, I said, man, we can compete with these guys. We might as well go do it, because it makes your team better. And, I had people that honestly told me, don't sign up for the Energy Classic, because you could win like 100 games in a row. And I said, yeah, that'd be cool. But it was so cool going and getting to play that national competition. I don't think our kids would have traded that for anything, even though we did come up with 2 losses. Even our 2 losses were, both within 5 points to really, really good teams. And I think it really kind of pushed our program forward, because once we realized that we can play with these teams that are nationally ranked, you really have that belief in yourself that you can accomplish whatever your goal is in the state of Wyoming.
All right, so you win 2, you break the record. You were tied from the team in the 70s, 46 in a row. You beat Laramie, that's 47. There's a new record. You beat Sheridan in a tight one, and you and I talked Friday night to set the Zoom up that you knew that was a tough game and you got past a really good team. What happened Saturday morning?
Kelly Walsh played really well against us. When we go up against those 4As, it's always a challenge. We're a little bit outsized. We're not the biggest team this year, and they hurt us inside. We struggled rebounding a little bit, and they also hit a bunch of shots. So, hats off to them. They played well. But that's why why we sign up for those tournaments, is to get challenged. We don't want it to be just smooth sailing, because I don't think that helps your team out. So,
well, still pretty special, pretty cool. Hasn't been done. I mean, we're talking 40 plus years, over 4 decades that you break a record. That's got to say something. And I know the town and the school and just the community there has got to be super happy and super proud of your program.
Yeah, I hope so. That's always our goal. We put out some really awesome kids, and I think the community recognizes that. And cool to have our name in the record books. One thing that's actually really cool about this record is it was set by Bob Carey, and he was the coach in Lander, and he's the one who the field house is named after, and that's where I played in high school. But the cooler part is his son and my dad are really good friends, because they coached together at Natrona, and they won a couple state championships. And I actually, when I was a little boy, I went out to breakfast with Bob Carey and Mike Carey and my dad. And so I actually have memories of sitting down at breakfast with Bob Carey before he passed. So it's just kind of crazy how it all worked out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, congratulations to you. I know it was kind of a tough way to set the streak, and then a couple games later it ends kind of abruptly the next day, but that's still pretty cool. Congratulations to you and your program, Cody.
Thank you. I appreciate it.